WGN Shannon Halligan is live from the Copernicus Center in Chicago, where leaders from the Polish American Congress spoke about the developments. Shannon?
Yeah, people in the Polish community are watching what's happening in Poland and Ukraine very closely. This as world leaders are carefully calculating their next steps. President Joe Biden called an emergency meeting with G7 and NATO leaders. The meeting came after ally Poland said a Russian-made missile killed 2 in the eastern part of the country. But the origin of the strike is still unclear.
There is preliminary information that contests that. I don't want to say that till we completely investigate, but it's unlikely in the minds of the trajectory that it was fired from Russia, but we'll see.
If it's determined the strike came from Russia, it would mark the first time since the invasion of Ukraine that Russian weapons came down on a NATO country. Experts say NATO is being very cautious about gathering all of the facts.
There's a lot that we still don't know. And I think number one is we don't know intent. We don't know if this was an intentional escalation by Russia targeting Poland or if it was a mistake. It's more likely that this was a mistake. But either way, we are looking at a situation where Russia has targeted and killed civilians in a NATO country. So absolutely, the world will be on alert. And I think NATO is having some very, very serious conversations as we speak.
Earlier in the day, Russia pounded Ukraine's energy facilities. It was the biggest barrage of missiles yet, striking targets across the country and causing widespread blackouts. At an event at the Copernicus Center in Chicago, the president of the Polish American Congress Illinois division said the Polish community is watching the developments very closely.
Beyond watching, Polish community has been very heavily involved over the past 8 months or so in terms of support. Not only moral support, but we sent food supplies, medical supplies, various assistance valued in literally millions of dollars. Ukraine is our closest neighbor. If Ukraine falls, Poland will be bordering, let's say, Russia.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called the strike that hit Poland a very significant escalation of war. Now all eyes are on NATO about what will come next.
The last launch of 85 rockets is a desperate act to basically destabilize the infrastructure. We're hoping, let's say, that this will not happen again, because they have to be more careful, in terms of what will be the next reaction of the NATO countries.
And NATO is planning to hold an emergency meeting tomorrow. Polish leaders say that their government is investigating and that they are raising their military preparedness in the meantime. Live outside the Copernicus Center, Shannon Halligan, WGN News.